Hi everyone, Gavin Townsend here. It's a late evening and it's all about winter gains right now. In the shop at Redditch Sports Nutrition, where my brother and I work every day, Monday to Saturday, we've had a lot of guys and girls for that matter interested in putting some muscle size on over Christmas. And there's no real top secret in putting muscle on other than when you want to put massive amounts of muscle on, you sometimes have to compromise with putting the level of body fat on. So, as an example, back in May, I was doing a WBFF in London, so that's the World Beauty Fitness Fashion Show. I was just under 14 stone on stage, very lean. You could look back at my photos on Instagram, and right now I'm 16 stone. So I'm actually about a stone and a half to almost 2 stone heavier than Tom Hardy was in Bane in Batman, believe it or not. So it's amazing what they can do with cameras, eh? He's 5'9", Tom Hardy. I'm 6 foot. I'm about a stone and a half to 2 stone heavier. And I've only just started my bulk. So I'm going to document over the next 6 months the intensity of the training that I'm going to go through, also the nutrition that I'm going through as well personally. And if you look back at history over the last 18 months, when I first started getting into the likes of physique training, I was 17 and a half stone at the start of last year and I had a lot of body fat. And for my first ever competition in October last year, I was 13 and a half stone. So I'd lost almost 4 stone. And then the weeks led up to the WBFF in November last year, and I was even leaner still. I lost a lot of weight, and over the Christmas period I put some weight on and I cut back down again to do the WBFF show again. And right now I'm actually full of energy. I'm feeling healthier and happier, putting some body fat on and going back to my old school hardcore weight training methods than I am just being absolutely shredded all year round. I don't meet many extra happy people who are on a diet all year round. And trust me when I say this, I've done 3 shows in 1 year and I've been cutting, and it's great to be feeding myself again. So right now I'm eating about 8,000 calories a day, and I just want to put some serious eyes on. So for all those hard gainers out there, for all those who are desperate to put some muscle on, here's some simple tips. So the body can put on a region of around 1 to no more than 2 pounds of muscle a month. However, the more muscle you want to put on, the more you've got to compromise with putting some fat weight on. And the way I'm training over the next 6 months to put some serious size on, October has all been about hypertrophy, so high reps, between 10 and 20 reps, doing a lot of drop sets, throwing a lot of different types of activity in, and being more using about my own body weight as much as some heavy weights. But now I'm going into a strength phase, which is lower reps but more greater weight. So we're going to be between the 6 and 10 mark in terms of repetitions. So a lot of sets, a lot of weight, but low reps. And I'm also then going to go into a power phase. So I'm then going to look at 1 rep maxes for a month and the likes of much fewer reps again, and just look at the likes of putting on some serious power into my training. So pretty much doing a hypertrophy bodybuilding traditional sort of method, then going to strength, which is more like your strongman sort of training, and then the likes of power, which is like powerlifting, etc. And that will just shock my body, so my body can't get used to the type of training that I'm been so used to for so long. And a lot of guys just stick to the same routines all the time, and that's why they wonder why they hit a plateau. So in this instance, in this video, I'm just highlighting what I've done previously the last 18 months and what I'm just about to do myself over the next 6 months. I will be competing next year, but actually for the first time in a long time, I'm actually quite happy to get some serious eyes on over Christmas. And the last 3 Christmas years, I've been lean as anything for photo shoots, and I haven't really, if I'm honest, when it comes to my nutrition, I haven't really enjoyed sitting there at a table watching all my friends eat this, that, and the other, and I'm feeling like I'm starving and deprived in the corner. And yeah, for anyone out there who's wanted to know more about building muscle, especially in around the winter time, but doing it in a lean manner, feel free to visit myself and my brother at Redditch Sports Nutrition, and he's always in there on a Wednesday. I'm floating around most days, and like I say, the ideal is for most people is to get out of the fixation on trying to stay lean when trying to put some serious size on. So over the next 6 months, I'm estimating to put in the region of 9-10 pounds of muscle on, but obviously put some fat weight on as well. And come March, I'm going to cut down, and I'll compromise in losing a region of about 10 to 20% of the muscle mass that I wish to gain. I speak to a lot of top sports scientists, strength conditioning coaches, and I've been speaking to somebody who's working in rugby, and yeah, I've come to this conclusion that by shocking my body every month for 6 months and increasing the calorific intake massively, especially around training as well, is going to help. So there's some tips there. So one is you can look at the likes of what I'm doing. So that's hypertrophy for 1 month, strength training for another, power training for another. Do that for 6 months. You'll look to gain ideally 1 to 2 pounds of muscle a month by shocking the body a bit more. Also, another great tip is going to come in another video, which I'm just about to do, and that's all about protein shakes and what can you actually add into the shakes each day, and how many should you have, etc. as well. And personally, for me, I try and have, like right now, no more than 2 a day. So I get most of my calorific intake from food, first and foremost. Look at good fats, good proteins, and getting a fine balance of carbohydrates for energy. But then also identify the likes of whey protein as an extra protein source mixed in with some extra carbohydrates and fats. Another great tip is try and get your rest and recovery right as well. So a lot of guys in the off season, i.e. during bulking, tend to go still gun-ho crazy with the cardio, and yes, it's good to keep a level of cardio in there for general fitness, but again, the ideal is to put a lot of attention into recovery and rest. So you want to try and hibernate a little bit more, just get a bit more sleep in, so 8-9 hours sleep if you can, and then also try and maximize your recovery between sets and repetitions, and between sets, obviously not between repetitions, and also maximize your rest recovery between muscle groups being trained as well. So there's some simple tips for you. I hope you follow me online for the next 6 months, and then I'll be cutting down again next year. But most importantly, one thing I found is last year, especially doing the physique side of things and cutting down, is it's great building a fantastic frame, but don't compromise on your mindset. That's a great tip also. But I'll come on to that in a future video. Have a great evening.